Hey gang, good morning. And yes, I am wearing the same blue sweatshirt I wore yesterday because I walked outside today. I try to get a walk in every day, and it didn't work out today. I just couldn't get up and do it. But anyway, today I want to talk to you about beliefs. And I'm getting ready to launch a couple of projects with two different clients, three different clients actually. And one of the things that I do when I start is I record a video for everybody in the group. I typically do business to business sales team coaching and training. And so I like to, before I even meet with them, to shoot a video. And Travis edits it wonderfully. And it's a 5 to 7 minute video, but it relieves us of having to do this stuff when we meet. So it's kind of a time saver. And it's good because we can edit it and make it kind of crystal clear. And what I always put in that video is, what are my beliefs? What do I believe about personal growth, about training, about coaching, about sales, about all those things? Because, excuse me, if somebody can buy into the same beliefs I have, excuse me, the milk got me, the coffee, then it makes everything go faster. And so I want to share with you, and I encourage you to do this with your clients. And I know that you're not in the training and coaching business. You may not be like I am. So this makes a lot of sense here. But the fact is, it makes sense anywhere. If you're a SaaS supplier and you just get a brand new client and you're going to be doing onboarding of any kind, I think it's good to shoot a video and let people see you in action. Talking about these things are important. You might even bring in other people like the CEO of the company or technical experts or whatever. But I'm convinced I'm going to be doing a lot more on video. I'm convinced video is just the answer to so many of our questions and issues. So I want to share with you today, I've got 10 of these beliefs and philosophies. I'm going to share 3 with you today, and then we can tackle more if you want. Number 1 philosophy is, any kind of coaching space is sacred ground. And what I mean by that, sacred, is that we've got to revere it. And by coaching space, I mean if we have a meeting with 5 people in the room and of my coaching client and me and maybe a sales leader, that is sacred space. Don't botch that space up by bringing your ego into it or bringing stuff that really doesn't matter into it. It's sacred space where people can grow. It's sacred space also because I want you there. I don't want you to miss meetings. Sometimes you have to. Okay, great. But if you don't attend the meetings, then it's not sacred to you, and I don't want you in the program. So sacred space, we have to look at that. And I think for a leader, if you're a leader of a sales team, sacred space might be the sales meeting. It might be I don't know, sales meetings typically don't rise to that occasion. But if you have training that you do with teams or even have one-to-ones, I've got a client who he enacted a one-to-one cadence with every one of his salespeople, I think once a month or once every couple of weeks. And that is sacred space. He doesn't get to change that. They don't get to change that unless tremendous emergency. But think about the meetings you have that are really important. Consider them sacred space. Number 2, the key to growth is the leverage of talent. My belief is that I don't even know you, but you have enormous talent and value and wisdom that you're sitting on and doing nothing with. We all do. I have some. You have some. Everybody on the planet has something that they're good at that they're either ashamed that they're good at, don't even know they're good at it, know they're good at it, but don't feel compelled at all to share it with the world. So I think that it's important to think about what you're good at and leverage that. And everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants a new level, new devil. Everybody wants a new level of achievement. Everybody I talk to does. I'm talking to a guy today at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and we're talking about his team. And he has a whole different level of achievement he wants to get to. And his team does too. And so everybody wants more. The key is leverage. Leverage what you're good at. Leverage your talent. Leverage your assets like your client list and your email list and people who follow you on LinkedIn. We don't leverage that enough. I'm not talking about using or exploiting. I'm talking about optimizing it. Number 3, curiosity is a master skill in 2 ways. One, curiosity is important for you to be skillful at in the sales process. I want you to be curious about how people do things and what we talked about this yesterday on some of the questions. I want us to be curious so that we ask the questions that will elicit a response that we can actually act on. You have the puzzle, it's the jigsaw puzzle phenomena, where you have all the pieces of the puzzle, or the prospect does, and they're all upside down when you get there, and through your questions, you're turning them up so you can make sense of it. And this is taken from somebody who hates jigsaw puzzles. I just hate them. I know that's sacrilegious, conspiratorial, but I just don't like them. But I like the analogy. The analogy is, I want to understand. So you got to be curious. But you also, it's number 2, you got to be curious about your own well-being, your own self, and your own potential, and your own achievement, your own goals. And if you don't know how to do something, be curious about it. I can't tell you how many times I've either heard an expert on a podcast where they are answering they're fielding a question, or I have fielded a question from a client, and I give them an answer, and they're not in the least bit curious about, well, how do I do that? So if you said to me, Bill, I want to double my business this year, or next year, I might say, okay, Jonathan, it's my go-to name, Jonathan or Philip. Jonathan, I've got an idea. He says, okay, what is it, Bill? I said, are you all ears? Oh yeah, Bill, look at me. I got my pencil. I'm ready to go. Bill, what is it? I say, you need to create a channel where you speak to your potential clients on a weekly basis. The channel could be a podcast channel, an audio channel, a video channel, a written channel, a webinar channel, some kind of channel, some kind of mechanism that speaks to your ideal client. And when you do that, people will show up to buy from you. Okay, great, good. Say, how do I manage my time? I have a lot of things, and I'm like, whoa, Jonathan, I just gave you an idea. It's a killer idea. Ideas don't come to me, and I don't pass them on to you unless they go through my filter of awesome ideas. Now, it's an idea. Maybe it's not the best idea, but it's an idea. And 95% of the time, I get nothing from it. I, as a coach, don't hear things like, oh man, I don't know how to do that. How would I go about doing that? What does that look like? What would be the cadence of that? What kinds of topics? How would it work? Nobody asks questions because nobody's really curious, because you have shut it down before it even filters into becoming an idea worth paying attention to. And I hear that a lot, not just me. This is a human thing. You've probably done it when you've made suggestions of people. Somebody comes to you with a problem, you make a suggestion, they're not curious at all about how to implement. Guys, it's not the ideas that are the issue, it's the implementation of the ideas that are the issue. If you're a VP of sales or CEO today, your people have tons of ideas on how to grow the business, how to maintain margins, grow margins, build current clients. They have all the ideas. They have all the gifts, all the wisdom. But what they lack is implementation. And they'll say it's time. I'll call BS on that. It's never time. It's always tactics. It's always technique. It's always how exactly do I do that? Because once I tell you how to generate double the prospects every month, and you're curious about it, and we come up with a clear plan, you will find the time. You will find the time to do it. So those are the 3 things, the 3 beliefs that I have. We'll talk about more a little bit later, but the whole idea here is that you need to do this for your clients too. You can do it for prospects, but especially when someone comes on board, they sign on the line that is dotted, they sign their John Hancock, which most of you young people don't know what that is, sign their name, they're in. Now, How do you acclimate them and orient them? I think a video is really good, and I think a video that talks about your beliefs about how we're going to work together and what your philosophies are is even better. All right. If you have not downloaded 12 Bold Moves audiobook, this is a large screen iPhone, much bigger than my iPhone. I don't even know where mine is. If you haven't downloaded it, I'll put the address here in the title, and then we've got a program in 2 weeks. I'll be running through every one of these 12 and giving you one thing to implement per bold move. If you want to grow your business in 2026, this is a great place to start. All right, I'll see you.